Hello and welcome to an OBS tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your OBS for local recordings. Now local recordings are different from stream recordings because you don't use the constant bitrate. In streams you use a constant bitrate to basically reduce the impact on your upload. So if the bitrate is going up and down, it's very strenuous and also not very good to look at in the stream. So what you do in local recordings is use the variable bitrate instead. And what the variable bitrate does is it's changing the bitrate right here. So basically how much file size is going in there in that particular moment, depending on what is actually visible on the stream. So a desktop, as we have it right here, is just going to use about that. Okay, but if I was to open up a game, it's probably going to use more, because more pixels, more dynamic stuff, you know, just overall a more strenuous picture for encoding. So if I open this up all the way, you can see it's immediately going up to 2.1K, about that. Okay, so let's jump into the settings. It's pretty straightforward actually. For those of you who stream regularly but also want to record like I am doing, you can set up different profiles. I can't do it right now, unfortunately, because I'm recording. But you can switch profiles. I have one right here, you can see recording. I have another one for streaming. So if you have a streaming thing set up right now, I recommend you just click add and then go forward. It's going to set all the settings to default, so you should go through all of them. Okay, encoding. Encoder, set it to x264. UCBR disabled. Quality balance 10. And max bitrate doesn't matter. Use custom buffer size, turn it on and set the buffer size to 0. For the audio encoding, I always recommend AAC and bitrate 192 for YouTube. Format, well, that kind of depends on your sound card. Leave it that way. It should be just fine. Broadcast settings. Unlike streams, you don't stream it anywhere, but you have a file path. So for me, it's leading to C users Jonas videos tutorial 1. You can browse and just set one up. Don't worry, all of this is in German. I mean, you're not crazy. Now, video. You want to use, well, just enter the resolution of your screen. So in my case, 1920 times 1080. And resolution downscale, in my case, none, which is going to put out a 1080p video. If you want the video to be 720p, so slightly smaller, use 720. And then you have to use a filter as well. Just use the best detail one. It's not very strenuous on the CPU. For the FPS, I use 60 as the max amount. It's not always going to use that, as you can see. It's jumping around depending on what's actually visible on the screen. It can't record more than is actually showing. Audio, just enter all this. You should know that from streaming. And now the important part under advanced. Use custom x264 encoder settings. And just type in CRF equals 15. This has to be just that. Make sure there's no space bar in front, nothing behind. CRF equals 15. You can switch the value here. I recommend you 15, but you can switch it from 0 up to 20, anything between that. 0 being the best one in terms of quality, but also the one that takes away most performance. I recommend 15. I found it to be a good setting in between. Okay, When you're ready with your recording, just click here, start recording, and it's going to put out a file in here. And it's just going to put a number behind it for each version. So if you have version 1, I did several test recordings before this, so there's number 04. You don't have to worry if you start another recording, it's not going to overwrite, but it's instead going to create another file just with a number behind it. Alright, so I hope you found this tutorial very helpful. If you did, leave me a like and subscribe, and also make sure to follow me on Twitch. See you soon, hopefully.